Hey everyone, my name's Nathaniel and I'm going to talk to you guys about one of my favorite Disney Pixar films, Coco. The film follows a boy from Mexico who desperately wants to be a musician. However, his family absolutely hates music because of something that happened way back when his great-great-grandfather left them to pursue a musical career. In the film, there's a big clash between Miguel's personal dreams and his family's traditions. Instead of treating this film like a colorful cartoon, I'm going to show you guys how it connects to big ideas from intercultural communication. Things like understanding where people come from, why they hold certain beliefs, and how we can find common ground when values clash. In case you guys haven't seen Coco, it follows Miguel as he accidentally ends up in the land of the dead during Dia de los Muertos, basically a time when families honor their ancestors. There he meets all kinds of spirits, including his own ancestors and a mysterious man named Hector. We learn about the holidays' traditions, see how ancestors are remembered, and understand why the Riveras banned music in the first place. The main characters include Miguel, who's super passionate and curious, his family, who's proud but stubborn, Hector, who's misunderstood, and Ernesto de la Cruz, the famous musician Miguel admires. The whole setting is basically a vibrant blend of cultural history, music, family drama, and magical realism. In the film, there are a couple positive intercultural moments, such as how Coco introduces audiences, especially those who aren't familiar with, in this case, Mexican traditions, to things like Dia de los Muertos. The movie respects and celebrates these customs rather than mocking them or oversimplifying them. For example, it shows the way ofrendas work and how placing a family photo with offerings brings the souls and spirits of the ancestors back to the land of the living. And it also helps explain how it keeps traditions and the memories alive. This is a key intercultural communication win. It takes something culturally specific and presents it in a way that's both respectful and easy to understand. Miguel's journey also reveals that he doesn't just ignore his family's old rules, he eventually learns why they matter and why they're important. He learns why they created them in the first place. He also learns why Hector was misunderstood and the true story about his great-great-grandfather. In my opinion, the film is actually very good, and it does explain the culture of, well, specifically Mexican culture, very well, and it gives you a very good view into it. Doesn't explain everything, but it does give you a good view into like the belief of spirits and how we keep memories alive. But looking at an intercultural point of view, Coco could be improved. Specifically, it only focuses on one culture and the tradition of one family. I feel it could definitely try and expand into other families and other traditions that also coincide with Mexican values. It can also focus on Mexican Americans who often take similar values from Mexico or Mexican culture, which can help people who have mixed identities try and balance their heritage in modern life and their environment. Also, as vibrant and colorful the Land of the Dead is, there might be misconceptions that those who aren't aware of the actual tradition, they might get a different view when they actually experience it in person, because not all celebrations are as colorful. They all celebrate roughly the same thing, but many celebrations tend to be different. In addition, a lot more context can be given to the story and where these traditions came from, and how other people within the culture feel about them, which we do see in the film. We do see Miguel's ideas and his views on it, especially like the rules, and he personally feels that the tradition makes no sense and it's pointless. He does respect his ancestors, however, he doesn't respect the fact that they don't agree with his views and his dreams. However, going back to my personal opinion, the film is beautiful, and honestly, it expands pretty well into the idea of Dia de los Muertos. Once again, it could definitely do better, and it could definitely give you more context and more of a wider range, a wider view of the different styles of the celebration within Mexican or Mexican American culture. The honestly the greatest thing of the movie is the way it highlights the respect for ancestors, family, and the importance of just telling stories and passing down memories. Personally, when it first came out and I watched it with my grandmother and my mom, I actually cried a little bit at the end. And personally, it was just because the thought of losing my grandmother, it hit me. And honestly, like the second and third time I watched it, I think I cried a bit too. I don't now, but I used to cry a couple times. But we actually do celebrate. We do make an ofrenda in my house. We have one for my grandfather who passed away a couple years ago, and we have one for my other grandmother from my father's side who passed away, I think just this year or late last year. And within my culture, my grandmother is from Mexico, but my mom was a first generation American born here. But we do have very strong Mexican values, when it comes to religion and family loyalty and things like that. But we have our occasional independent things of more American or more modern Mexican American culture. And honestly, I differentiate between both sides of Mexican and American culture. It just kind of depends on the situation for me. But overall, enough about me. The film is a great film. Another great film would be Book of Life. That's another great film. Doesn't get into the tradition or the celebration as much, but it does give you a similar view. And overall, it's a great starting point for anyone interested in learning about intercultural communication between families and how to learn to deal with conflict within your own family, and how to learn new lessons in understanding and hearing people out and giving people chances, things like that. And overall, it can teach us how we can all be connected and have no conflicts. And thank you guys for watching.